Are you a firearm industry member? As of Governor JB Pritzker signing House Bill 218, which is now law, it appears that maybe you are. You better watch yourself. Folks, I appreciate you tuning in. My name is Paul and I am IPAC instructor. I ask that you please share this video. You know, I got out of the city. Sometimes it's just way too oppressive. Packed the family station wagon, boogied out of the city, and headed out to the cornfields for a few days as we just got to regroup, get away from all that crime. And, you know, it reminds me of that old movie from the 80s, I think it was Ghostbusters, where there was all this evil just underneath the city, permeating people and the lifestyle. And I often view that as Chirac. But anyways, I wanted to look into House Bill 218, and it talks about, I'm only going to say the word a few times here, you know, such as like militias or paramilitary organizations and how they are unlawful. And I wanted to give you a document that I found here. And how do I know if a group of armed people is an unauthorized private M word? Groups of armed individuals that engage in paramilitary activity or law enforcement functions without being called forth by a governor or the federal government and without reporting to any government authority are acting as unauthorized private M words. All right. They sometimes train together and respond to events using firearms and other paramilitary techniques, such as staking out tactical positions, tactical equipment, and operating in military-style formations. They often purport to have authority to engage in military and law enforcement functions such as protecting property and engaging in crowd control. Now, you know, if we look back in the summer of love throughout the Chicagoland area and the entire United States, when major cities were burning to the ground, was there not groups of individuals who were protecting set property? So I have here House Bill 218, which allows lawsuits, and it goes on. By the way, it's not just that subject. You know, by the way, if you maybe train with a couple of your neighbors, you live on a block, or family members live on a block, a cul-de-sac, and you guys train together and develop a plan in order to protect that area should a Summer of Love 2020 re-emerge its ugly head, is that going to label you a firearm industry member? Tactical gear, training, slightest of organizational skills. You know, I know you could call me chicken, whatever you will, but if you notice, I really haven't offered any tactical pistol classes lately, with me seeing and foreshadowing of this coming. And I don't want to be labeled the instructor of that, or God forbid, the actual head of that organization or group. So I've kind of put the brakes on it. I think it really sucks. Now, maybe outside of Illinois, maybe going to Wisconsin, Indiana, I got some things going on, but I've been avoiding it in Illinois. Anyways, more about House Bill 218 allows lawsuits to be brought against. Oh, by the way, one more thing. Guys, many of you downloaded it in our last video, a free, 100% free, it helps support this channel, 2023 Gun Laws Guide. I will put a link in the description and in the comment section. You click on it, plug in your email, you'll get it free sent to you. Laws throughout the United States, you want to be legal and you want to not jeopardize your rights. All right, moving on. Again, it's free, get it. Allows lawsuits to be brought against firearm industry members for allegedly making less safe conditions or for advertising to children or unlawful paramilitary or military activity. Monday, the National Shooting Sports Foundation, great organization by the way, filed a challenge to the law in Illinois Southern District Federal Court. The foundation alleges the measure doesn't just violate the First Amendment, it also violates interstate commerce and due process rights. You know, the First Amendment, guys, is under attack. You and I both know this. One of the reasons why I started this YouTube channel is because elsewhere I was basically covered up. And for over 12 months, with having a massive presence, 140,000 followers nationwide, that was essentially censored, but nonetheless, I digress. Let's see here. None of that is consistent with the Constitution, the lawsuit said. The First Amendment prohibits states from punishing wide swaths of truthful speech about lawful products, even if the products are dangerous or the speech is unpopular. You know, put a 1 in the comment section if you think the First Amendment was for me to say, I love you. Or put a 2 in the comment section if the First Amendment was really designed for me to say, hey, I don't care for this. Hey, I'm not in favor of this. Or in other words, ugly speech. The First Amendment prohibits state from punishing swaths of truthful speech about lawful products, even if the products are dangerous or unpopular. Second Amendment protects commerce in arms. Numerous constitutional provisions prohibit states from regulating conduct that takes place wholly beyond their borders, even when that commerce has effects within the state. And the Due Process Clause prohibits states from punishing one private party for the conduct of another. NSSF also said the measure is trying to resurrect the very kinds of lawsuits, Protect Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, an act was to eliminate. Under HB218, state officials and private parties may bring civil actions against licensed manufacturers and seller of firearms, ammunition, and related product for damages and other relief resulting in criminal use of a firearm by a third party. Folks, basically what it's saying is if a criminal commits an act, all right, that entity, that manufacturer, the one who fabricated that tool, that equipment, let's face it, firearms are basic, simple machines. They can be sued for another person's unlawful, mind you, unlawful activity. HB 218 therefore falls squarely within the express preemption provision of the PLCAA. Tuesday, United States Magistrate Judge Mark A. Beatty was randomly assigned to the case in the Southern District Federal Court District. Beatty was appointed to the position in 2019 during the presidency of Donald J. Trump. Just before House Bill 218 was signed Saturday, Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raul said the measure doesn't target those who conduct themselves in a lawful manner. You know, the government is your friend until the end, until they're not. All right, you remember that. Raul says, the Attorney General, what this does is clarify that the firearm industry, like any other business, must comply with the Consumer Fraud and Deceptive Practices Act. U.S. Law Shield's Kirk Evans warned of a bevy of lawsuits if the law is upheld. And those will just be on one-off individuals, one-on-one cases where we get the rulings. Those could occur across Illinois and in federal courts too, Evans said. Alongside gun control advocates, Illinois Senate President Don Harmon, Democrat of Oak Park, proclaimed that the measure was needed so they can do something about the violent crime. Listen, folks, we all know that the laws that we experience as Illinoisans has not kept us safe. I talked about it in our previous video that the FOID Card Act, which was actually developed or enacted in 1968, I said 1967, but nonetheless, in 1968, was an act of public safety. What good has it done for the citizens of Illinois? Is Chicago safe? Is Crook County safe? You and I both know that it is not. So what good is it? What it has done is brought in enormous infringements on our Second Amendment rights. Folks, I'd like to know your thoughts in the comment section. When will Illinois just stop hammering away? When is that final nail in the coffin where people say, I'm done, I'm out of here, it ain't worth it, the money's not worth it, I have to trungate myself from family and what I am used to because it's overbearing? Or maybe you don't think that it is. Regarding the Illinois assault weapons ban, since January 10th of 2023, this year, we are now at the recording of this video in August. What good has it done? seriously, I have posted numerous videos of criminals with so-called assault weapons doing heinous crimes. And, well, I know that you've been infringed upon. I have been infringed upon. Maybe it just makes them feel really good. Folks, don't forget, it helps support this channel, and it's free to you, a 2023 and moving forward, updated in real-time gun laws guide from my friends at the USCCA, providing you education and training. Click on the link in the description or in the pinned comment section. You can get it for free. Tap on it, plug in your email. You'll get it a few moments later. And a lot, I mean, dozens upon dozens just in my last video got it. You should too. Again, it helps me. It helps you, keeps you at least knowledgeable. Then you, as a reasonable, prudent, and cautious adult, can make decisions on what is best for you and your family. Folks, I ask that you share this video. Let me know what you think about House Bill 218. And do you think that these lawsuits brought up against it will prevail? We know that it did not prevail with the Illinois assault weapons ban. It will head to the Supreme Court in D.C., but I'm not sure how this one's going to go. Folks, I love you. I thank you, and I appreciate you for tuning in. As always, remain safe.